All right, it's time to start working on this thing here. I got my monkey suit on. That makes me official-like, or at least in my mind it does. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing going. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start prepping to try to get this engine running. What's that entail? Well, it's gonna be a couple things. One, we're gonna go ahead and change the oil filter. I don't know the last time it has been changed, but it's been a long time. We're gonna go ahead and pull all the spark plugs out. We're gonna then add a little oil inside of each of the cylinders. We're gonna rotate this engine over a few times and just try to get some oil lubrication in. Now, I also bought a tool, which, looking online, the experts said that what you should do is take your distributor off, and I've got a little tool that you hook up to a drill. It'll actually spin the oil pump, and that lets the engine pump the oil around. And with that, it should get oil back into all the places that it needs to prior to us trying to start. As you can see, and I think I mentioned this on a prior video, we've got some bits of wiring missing, so I'm sure we're gonna find some things there that we just haven't quite figured out yet. I don't know, for example, what works and what doesn't electrically. I know there's some other wires that we're going to troubleshoot, but hey, we'll figure that out and we'll go from there. So let me get this set up. We're going to throw the car up on the lift, get the oil changed, and start moving. Tilt that down just a little in case it hits the garage door. So I will be the first to admit one of the greatest things a person can have is a lift. It took me about 45 years of my life to get one. And once you have one, you wonder what the heck you were doing the whole time without it. So drain the oil here, spin off the filter, go from there. Hi son, you coming out to help? Come around on this side. Magic. All right, let's see how much oil I can get on myself here. I'm sure there's some magic trick that lets you not get oil on it, but I ain't figured it out yet. Could you hand me that wrench that's on the anvil, please?
This wrench?
Yep. Oh, maybe I got it. Here, hold this. I'll trade you. Thing hasn't moved in a while. Almost got it. There's a lot of threads on that. Ain't like a new car where they barely got any thread into a little pan.
We can use like a normal bolt that we have since we have like the same size bolt. Ooh, that oil's black.
That's some pretty black oil, isn't it?
It doesn't even look like it's moving.
No.
It says it's pitch black, right, Dad?
Can you go grab that cart over there and roll the cart over? I'll get the oil wrench off. We're gonna make our lives a little easier and use this. Easy. The good thing is I shouldn't get a lot of oil off the oil filter if it's all drained down off the engine, right?
That is.
All right, come here, Finn. I'm going to show you something. So look up here. See how that top is kind of dirty?
Yeah.
What you do is we take the rag. We want to clean up all the dirt.
Whoa, it's like brand new right there.
Yeah. Then we got a new filter right here. Brand new FL1A. And then what we'll do is, here's another trick. Take just a little bit of oil, and we're gonna put that on top of this ring, like this. It'll help that ring from sticking. So then the last thing I'll tell you about this, you're only gonna wanna do this hand tight, because if you take a wrench and you really tighten it, it's gonna be really hard to take off. So far, that's the one new thing we got, right? Clean this up so we don't step in it, right? Okay, the oil's drained, everything's set there, so let's drop this down. Make sure you stand clear, Finn.
I'm gonna be the dropper since you told me.
Yep. Okay. Remember how to do it? Push this. Nope. Just push it down. Get it off of it real quick. Let's just check, make sure everything's set right.
Tell me when to go.
Okay, take it the rest of the way. Okay, the oil's changed now, so the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead. Oof, that's loud. We're going to go ahead, then we're going to start taking out the spark plugs, and we're going to put a little oil into each one of those. After we take out the spark plug, we're going to work on taking off this distributor cap. I need to mark it and make sure I don't lose the setting. As I recall, it ran pretty good when it stopped, so I don't want to have to try to do a lot of adjustment. And before we fill up the oil, you'll see here, I actually went to pull the oil thing and this thing came right off, so we're going to have to weld that up as well. So let's get the camera set up and go for it. Got my son helping me record here. So here's the problem with our dipstick, as you can see. Don't get too close to it there, son. We're going to clean this off, and then we're going to go ahead and put on a little weld and get this thing brand new. Okay, looks like I'm not the first person to do this repair. You can see some welding on it before. So I'll clean off this existing weld and then we'll try it again. Well, that is not the prettiest weld I have ever done. Probably should have cleaned off some more of the grease and grime before I tried that, but if you can't make it pretty welding, let's make it pretty grinding. It does seem to be held on. Okay, I'm a prettier grinder than I am a welder. Perhaps it's time to start getting the old eyeglasses out. They're not just for reading, they're apparently for some welding too. That might save me a little something if I could see what the heck I'm doing. Doesn't bode well for all the sheet metal repair I got, so I better get to good quick. Let's see what we can do here. Get this air cleaner out of the way. That way we can work on our distributor. And we'll figure out a way we can mark this. I'd like to say that I was good at remembering stuff, but a little diagram will save me some memory. Okay, with that done, we'll call that known. Then we'll start putting the plug wires off, and we'll go from there. Let's pull our first spark plug here. All right, well, let's take a look here. See if you can see what I see here. That's a little blackish, a little sootish. What I'll do is I'll do this one at a time. We'll add some oil into each one. All right, let's see if we got the right tool for the right job here. Oh yeah. Squirts that in nicely. I suppose we can go ahead and change our plugs. I got some new spark plugs here. And what's interesting about this, I also had this nifty little setter. I found this in one of my dad's toolboxes, so Dad's helping here again already. Yeah, we're not gonna worry about that right now. We got the wrong spark plugs. We're gonna call that an online order fill. Yeah. Put this back in. Of course, the first one was pure D-luck. Number 2. Different one here, Motocraft MBF82. Lots of carbon on that one too. I will show you one here that's kind of interesting. Right here. I was wondering what the heck this little tube is. And as you can see, it goes up into the carburetor. Turns out that this is a little tube that pulls the air in, gets heated up through this exhaust manifold. The hot air comes into here and inside this. And as the engine heats up, well, you can change your idle on that. More or less how it works. Kind of neat. Well, I got the other side done here. And it dawns on me, now that I've got this other side done, that maybe I should leave the spark plugs out to make it easier to turn this thing over by hand. So, I don't know. You live, you learn. I'll go ahead and put the oil in this now and then mark the distributor over here. So I'll get the distributor marked where it's sitting currently, pull the wires, pull the distributor, and get the tool, and we'll try to run a little oil through this engine. No sponsorships here, folks. I ended up going with this Quaker State because it was the only regular oil I could find that wasn't synthetic at Walmart. Oh, that looks a lot nicer compared to that black stuff that came out. And I should also say that I did buy some zinc additive. I couldn't quite confirm whether or not this Quaker State had zinc in it. Couldn't see it on the label. I'm sure there's somewhere I can look up. But what I've read that these old engines here, they need that zinc for lubricant. So I've got some zinc additive. We'll put that on here as well. And we should be good to go. But okay. We put oil in all of the cylinders here, so we've tried to get that taken care of. I still need to mark where all this stuff sits before I pull the distributor and run some oil. But for fun, I thought I'd see if I could get this engine just to turn over. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to connect onto the bolt of the crankshaft and see if we can't turn this thing over. We'll be optimistic here. We'll start this out with just a wrench. Try to turn this. Might need a little more chooch power on that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, man. I gotta get stronger. That's a good sign, right? Am I turning this thing over? Rotating that front belt. Why doesn't the water pump turn? That doesn't want to turn at all. Would one imagine that that water pump is froze up? We'll get something here, try to break that fan loose. Ooh, he's a little tight. Well, we'll work on this here a little and we'll get back to you. All right, guys, quick update here. I can make the fan turn, but it ain't easy. I have to use a cheater bar, and it's hard to see here, and I don't think we'll be able to get in for a good look on that. but there's a shaft that goes into this cast iron housing. My guess is that thing got locked up, rusted up pretty tight. So I'll work on it here a little more off camera, see if I can break it up, break it a little free. But this thing ain't gonna run very good if that thing won't spin. Even if we got it to turn over and fire, it's just gonna slip that belt. That belt also drives the alternator on this, so we're gonna need to do something. Can't just throw an electric fan on it right away. Gotta have something to get that thing actually churning and pumping them waters. So that's the update. We'll hit you back here in a bit. All right, we're gonna mark the position of the distributor here. Try to make it easier when we go back together with this. Well, that's the thought anyway. Mark a line on the engine as a reference. Mark a line on the body and on the cap. So theoretically, we get those lines to line up. Life will be good. All right, let's unplug the wires from the distributor cap, take the vacuum off, see what else it takes to take this thing apart. Now the whole reason that we've done this is so that we can manually turn the oil pump down there and lubricate this engine since it's been sitting since 1991. So I went on to Amazon for $13 and picked this little doodad up. It's got a 5/16 in at the bottom. It's got a little bushing here to rest it on. And I'm supposed to just hook this drill and we're going to pump it. So let's see what we can do. Hopefully all that effort just to rotate that's worth it. See if we can find it into the hole. If this thing lines up on that, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Let's look at the distributor here. Well, the distributor does have at the bottom there the same sort of thing. Well, I guess this is a matter of precisely setting this where you want it. Boy, it sure looks like it should be the same. Well, that would have been too easy. We'll mess around here off camera a little, see if I can get this. Okay, let me explain what happened here. So my Amazon purchase thing here, which is it got a 5/16 at the end of it, which was supposed to be for these engines. Turns out that that actually is a 1/4 inch in there. So I went and bastardized one of my tools. So basically took a drill socket, the 1/4 inch there that had the flexible shaft. I had to rip off the piece there because this was so narrow right here. Then I've cobbled together the extensions and voila, made my own. So I guess $13 donated to Amazon for learning when all you needed to do was scrounge your own stuff at home. So let's see if this works. We'll slide this back down in there. Oh yeah, she's on. Hook up the drill. And give her a spin here. I could feel some resistance, so we'll assume that this thing is pumping. We'll assume it got some oil in. We'll know if that helped or not. The idea is, again, just to get oil in all the bearings and other places that have set dry for so many years. Okay, well, I'll do this old Tony style here. So when I showed you guys this before, you remember this center cap here was actually missing and it got a lot of dirt in there. So what I'm gonna do here is take a little steel wool. I've wrapped it around this little drift and I'm gonna go ahead and just clean this out. And I'll go ahead and do that for the rest of them too. Make sure that they're nice and shiny. And there you have it.